Hello, this is Anthony. Let's walk and talk. So today we're going to talk about your current self, your past self, and your future self. And the purpose of this video is going to really be to discuss and talk about how you can't become the future self until you embody the energy of the future self. Now, some people are going to say that's the way I just stated that was a little spiritual or woo-woo, but we're going to have a little discussion to help you to understand exactly what that means. You see, when you view your life and you view yourself 10 years ago, you view yourself now, and then you view where you want to be 10 years from now, you're going to discover a pattern. You see, what most people don't understand is all life really is patterns. Patterns based on programming. And when you understand that, what you're able to do is you're able to look at life from a different perspective and a bit more objectively. And in doing so, it allows you to take out some of the wounds that you may carry in the present in order to project yourself into a more promising future. Here's what I mean by that. Most people look at themselves and they say, I don't even know what I was doing 10 years ago. I can't even remember who I was. For me, that's a completely different person. But you view things from the perspective of the now versus the then. You see, what you are not understanding is that to get to where you are, many things happen, many events happen. Essentially, you began to embody a different understanding or belief about what you wanted, and you, from an egoic perspective, took action to achieve those things. What happened in that moment is you changed the vibe or the energy of who you presently were to start to slowly over time become who you want to be. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll definitely look at it and go, yeah, I had to change things in my life. I had to almost become a different being, have a different perspective in order to achieve or attain those goals that I chose. Now, we've talked about this in the past. This is very similar to, say, for lack of a better word, you're a couch potato. And you watch a lot of athletics and you think, man, I would like to be athletic. So then what do? Well, most people say, well, I'm going to go hit the gym. I want to lose some weight. That's where I start. But that beginning is where you end. And why is that? Why does that occur? It's because you can't, where you currently are when you start going through the work, you can't envision who you're going to be. Meaning you can't embody that energy because you are existing in the energy that you currently are. But when you start to view it from a different perspective, you start to view your transition from couch potato to athlete as a holistic perspective, meaning you, in your mind, set your mind to that is what I want to be, that is who I choose to be. And then in choosing that, then you start to look at, not judge, but observe the actions that you've taken in the past that got you where you currently are. I'm going to give you an example. Again, most people understand when you're on the journey to become an athlete from a couch potato, it's just not about going to the gym. It's about a whole host of things. It's about your diet, how much you drink. It's about what you consume in your mind. It's about how you work with your body. It's a whole host of things. Now, I use it specifically because most people think, well, I just need to go to the gym. Not accurate. You see, you can go to the gym all day, but if you don't change your diet, you're not going to get the same results. You can change your diet and you can go to the gym, but if your mind is locked into, I'd just like to come home and sit on the couch and watch TV and continue to be programmed, it's not going to change your energy. It's not going to change your perspective. No. In order to truly get there, you've got to change the whole totality of what you are currently to what you want to be. That is embodying the energy of the future self. That is how you, from a, well, we'll use a spiritual term, from the 3D perspective, move yourself from your current position to your future self. You see, sometimes in your current position, you can do things that later you can appreciate. I'll give you a quick example of that. There have been many times where I've just had extra time and unconsciously done something in the present moment that later on, when it came up, I looked back and thought, I thank my past self for making it easier on my future self. Or sometimes, because of who I chose to move towards and the energy I chose to embody, I recognize that cycles or situations that I'm currently going through, it helps me to deal with those better. For instance, when I know I'm on a specific path and I start doing the mental gymnastics, so to speak, of moving past the current self and moving into the future self, it helps me to see the things I'm currently going through from a different perspective. Now, I heard somebody say this the other day, and I said it as well, and I'm going to say it again. This is a lifelong process of evolution, and it is evolution. It doesn't just happen overnight. You see, I can sit and talk to you about these concepts, and many of these concepts I've mastered, but other aspects of the concepts are always going to be a work in progress. So when I explain these things to you, there are many things about this that I've mastered, but then there are many things about this that I continue to work through. Why? Because what happens is as you're embodying the energy of the future self, the lessons change. And as the lessons change, a lot of times the lessons get more intense. And why do they get more intense? They get more intense because in order to bring on a new set of lessons with that energy, you have to master the current energy. In other words, in order to be the future self, you have to master the current self. Because if you can't master the current self, you'll never be the future self. Now, some of you might go, that might just be a bunch of word salad. No, it's actually, it's fact-based in everything I've said. I can explain that psychologically and scientifically. The psychology aspect is essentially, until you begin to embody the new you and become the new you, you will remain into the old you. And that takes time. Through psychology, a lot of times that could be habit, which can take anywhere from, I think, 21 to 37 days in order to create a new habit. From the scientific perspective, that is having the neurons in your brain build new neural pathways in order for you to be and embody that of which you choose or desire to be and embody. But again, it requires repetition. People decide, I want to be this other being, and then they jump fully into it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times what happens is when you jump fully in it, you're not truly embodying that. You're just saying in the moment, that's what I'm going to be. And then as time wanes and the old life lessons begin to continue to pop up, you are going to have to deal with those life lessons. For instance, you say, I am going to be this athlete as of today. I'm doing all the things. Well, a couple things could pop up. One, your body's not ready to embody the new person. So it gets, you create situations where you pull a muscle or you're in pain. And that discomfort pulls you back into, well, maybe today I'm just going to sit on the couch and relax. You see, even though you jumped in to embody it, all the aspects around embodying that weren't prepared for you. You didn't get yourself in the energy of that. You didn't slowly build towards it. You tried to jump in. Another one, as you choose to embody that new person, things in your current life are going to have to evolve. And that takes time. For instance, an example of that, you know what? I recognize that not going out and drinking and partying until 2 o'clock in the morning is going to be required in order for me to achieve this new version of self. But the drinking and partying usually incorporates the friend group. And when it incorporates the friend group, now you're putting yourself into a position where you're having to give external explanation as to why you're doing internal things. And then you face the the perception or judgment of the friend group. You see, you have to understand when you choose to make these things, everything in your life is going to change. Whether you choose a spiritual path or whether you choose just another path for you. Those that align with you will remain. Those that do not will fade away. And as you take your journey and you move into the new energy, you will attract in new people who match that frequency. You'll attract in new people who accept and embody the new version of you that you are. Instead of having all the friends who want to go out and party, you'll have the friends who want to go to the gym, or you'll have the friends who want to hang out and have deep conversations. This is the important understanding of the journey from your current version to your future version, and how do you slowly understand that you have to shift the energy. But what say you? How do you feel about that? Do you understand this? Do you embody it? Or do you feel like, no, I can just jump in and discipline alone will get me there? I'm curious. As always, if you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm truly grateful. And until I talk to you again, peace, love, light. I hope you have the most amazing day.